this will not change the system. Because I do see a lot of my faculty members, that is a weapon. If you say something, why you have not done this, why your results are down, immediately they'll cry. So this is something which what will happen after some time, we will stop calling them, we will stop giving job to them, we will stop involving, they cannot come up next. We will not be able to give them any responsibility. Recently we had a department where the HOD has been relieved, and I'm in search of who will be the best person to lead that department. So in that analysis, when we were talking about the senior members, like how about this person, how he will be able to handle this particular situation. So like that, when we were discussing, each and everyone, positive and negative, were taken into account, and one person loses his temper, one person is very emotional, one person doesn't stay in the evening and work. Like this one point came, and one person was selected because he is straightforward and he tells the truth, he talks the truth. So I will know actually what is happening instead of him just covering up what is not happening, and later it bursts out when it reaches its peak. So that is how, when I selected the leader, I saw the qualities, like this is how I want him to be. So there again, the integrity, the truth was the first thing which was seen, because we need to know the real picture. Even in your case, if the team members are not able to communicate you the real picture, you will not be able to find a solution for that problem, isn't it? So this is something they should also have. Tell the truth. In any one day it is going to come out. So don't delay it. If you tell now, the remedy will be quicker. So knowledge of the business, this is again whatever job they are doing. Even in our institution, again if I take that as an example, if they feel that today if they finish the classwork, that is enough. But that is not enough. Like, we need to see whether the student has understood and whether he has done a hands-on experience on that, whether he will be industry ready, whether he will get a placement, whether he has got all that related to that particular subject knowledge has been given, whether a project has been done in that. So again, how it is going to help the institution in long run, how we are going to get results, how we are going to get placements, how we are going to get admission. So this is a big picture which the leader has, but the employee, if they don't have, if they feel that one day class is enough, that is my job today. So the employees also should be communicated with what is the vision of the organization, how big the vision is and how small we are now doing. It has to enlarge and it has to become a big vision for everybody, in everybody's mind. So they should have a knowledge about the business. The leader should communicate the same to the employee also, because I have also experienced sometimes when we have a meeting with HODs and the correspondents, that ends within the room. It doesn't come out. When we have meetings, maybe you have some meetings with your next level, that will not be communicated to the next level. So they will even not know what is your vision. You will give them some job, but they will not know why you are giving this job, where it has to end, what is your vision, what is their job. Ultimately not the one-time job, how continuous it has to be. And they should have a vision is something which you are able to see invisible things. So tomorrow, after 10 years, it is going to happen. But today we are going to visualize that. We are visualizing, but we should also make our team members visualize the same picture. Then only they will work towards that. So they should know the knowledge, like they should have a knowledge of the entire business, what for they are working. And the insight into people and situations, creativity, again creativity, innovation and invention are the three confusing factors in many of their minds. Creativity is something which is imaginary. But when you implement it, it becomes what it becomes. Innovation, invention, creativity. Invention is something which you create something which is not existing. A new thing, when it comes into existence, we call it as an invention. And creativity, when it is made as a reality, it becomes an innovation. So this is creativity. Unless you have a dream, you cannot make it real. So creativity is something you have to have, because you have seen n number of movies, songs, everything coming, but somebody is doing something different, it comes as a hit. So creativity in the leader should be transformed to the member. Yes, I wanted to think different. I wanted to do it in a different way. You have so many Lions Club throughout the country. So how unique you are going to be, how unique you are going to be seen by public, how people are going to recognize your club alone. If you do things differently, definitely people will come to you. So that creates, you have to think, how can I do this? There was one of my friend named Mohammed Yunus. Actually, you would have seen him in the, we had a recent flood in December, in Chennai. So he's a multi-crore business person. But when he heard about the floods, he called for a boat. One by one, he started getting 10 boats, and he went to the place and he started bringing people. One day, he brought nearly 200 to 300 people out of that place, and there was a pregnant lady in the particular boat. He saved her. He's a Muslim guy. She's a Hindu. He saved her, and they named as Mohammed Yunus for the child. So he is an industrialist. He has crores of money. He is not into Lions Club or in any social service. But he wanted to think different, and within a day he became so popular. Within a day he got so many awards, and because that human nature, humanity, it was helping people as well as he is able to get some satisfaction, and he is well known in a day. See, he was thinking nobody else did that. He did it, and afterwards all the fire servicemen, all those people coming and doing is different, but a normal human being doing that particular job is different. So that is something he thought different in that particular moment. He had a presence of mind. Yes, why can't I try this? So this is what everybody has to do. Doing service also, we can have different ways of doing service and reaching people, where people retain your service in mind, and it will spread like virus. So again, knowledge of business, we have seen that from the lower level, everybody should know what they are doing and what for they are working. And the drive, especially, as I said, leaders should have a self-motivation. From within, we have to every day get energized. Though we may energize the team members once in a while, but we have to get energized every minute, every second. We should feel, yes, what I can do next, what I can do next. We cannot rest at all. Our mind should be always thinking on what next. So that will be visible in your body language. The way you address your team member, just seeing them, they will see some light in your face. Yes, always you will be in a drive. You will be having some energy. Automatically it will get transmitted. So this is something like we should be close to the team members to understand them, have empathy and understand, but we should be in a higher position to motivate them. We should be in a higher position to motivate them. So some of the attributes of leadership: planning, organizing and setting objectives. Definitely we need to plan. Anything without a plan will go to somewhere where we don't know where it is going. And we should have an objective why we are doing this. And taking the initiative and responding flexibly to changing situations. Definitely there are a lot of new things coming up. As I said, many people are doing same thing. Why don't we do something different? So depending upon the situation, we need to think. And accepting responsibility for mistakes and wrong decisions. So a leader, if any success comes, the success should be dedicated to the team members, and any failure comes, we have to take it. That courage should be there for a leader, saying that yes, this because of me it happened. I will see to it that it doesn't happen again. So that courage a leader should have. Then only you will have that respect. Then persevering when things are not working out. Persevering is something like continuous efforts. If something is not working out, you have to try again and again in a different way. May not be in the same way. If it fails in one way, try it in a different way. There are so many ways are there. We need to just think, put in your minds. And beyond that, we need to have some brainstorming session with our team members. Definitely, we cannot underestimate any of our team members. Even at lower level, even in my attender, I will ask like, what shall we do for this situation? She may give me some solution. She may give me from an external outside person, she may look at it in a different way and she will give me something which will work out. So we cannot underestimate anybody. So brainstorming session of the team members will help you to solve that particular situation. Taking a positive attitude to and learn from failure. Definitely we have to face the failures because from failures only we will learn. presenting a positive personal image, being assertive. So positive, we have to be first positive. We should not have doubt on anything. If we start something, there will be a lot of inputs. First input coming is how this is going to happen, how this is going to finish. Many people are doing, how we are going to lead them. This is one among the many places we find this sort of negative thought from us, first of all. So when I tell my faculty the model exams are there, I want 100% attendance, I want the students to score well in the model exams. Immediately the faculty will tell, ma'am, students will not come for model exams. See, who are you to tell? That is your job. You have to make them come for the model exams and write. So from their level itself, if they say it is not possible, their working style also will be like that only. Their working energy also will be like that only. They will again the same thing communicate to the class teachers, and the class teachers, instead of calling every student, they'll call 2-3 students and tell me, ma'am, I have called everybody but nobody came for exam. So that should not be the attitude of a leader. First, we should be positive. Yes, I will be able to do it. It has to be done. It has to be done. So that will reflect in your work if you have such perseverance or the positive attitude. Then delegating tasks to people with the right skill set. Again, identifying the skill set of a person is very, very essential. One person may be very good in communication. One person may not be able to speak, but they will be able to do something or the other, the resource management or facility management or hospitality. There are several things. In each and every job you take, you will have lots of parts. It's not only doing that particular job. Associated jobs will be there. One may be good at getting resources, like you may get some free transport, you may get some free source through him for doing something. So you can save some money through that particular team member. So first of all, we need to identify the positive and the best skill set of each and every member. First identification should be there. Because when you delegate a job, according to that skill set, if you delegate, you will get more benefit rather than something like somebody who cannot go and talk to somebody, you will send him to bring the guest. So that will be a flop. He will go and talk something. He will not be able to communicate, talk positive about the organization. Everything will go flop. So that is very, very essential. Listening, supportive, and giving constructive criticism. So this constructive criticism itself is a negative word, but still, if it is constructive, yes, if you have done some job, and this could have been done in this way. This is a sort of criticism. It may be tough for the person who have put a lot of effort to do that, but still, if it is constructive, it is going to help, it is going to benefit. If he is going, it is told in such a way that the team member understands it in a positive way. Even criticism can be told in a positive way, making them understand that I am not criticizing you to demotivate you, I am doing it to motivate you. This is going to help you when you face a similar situation next time. So this constructive criticisms are, see, when we are right, we can tell this type of things to our team members with confidence. When we do our job perfectly, definitely as leaders, we can easily tell them on face, but in an appropriate way. The content may be strong, but the way you tell should be soft. Clarifying the problem and making logical decisions. So if somebody comes with a problem, definitely the employees, what they will do, they will throw the problem on the leader. There was one lady who came for an interview who was my student earlier, and I asked her, see, you studied in this college, you wanted to take up a teaching job. The challenging job of a teacher is, first of all, even if the teacher is very good at communication and technical knowledge, if all the students don't attend your class, you will not be able to produce the result. First thing is, you should make everyone attend your class. So how will you do that? Suppose if the students don't come to your class regularly, what will you do with the absence? She immediately told me, I'll give the list to HOD. So what is the job of a HOD? He is not a dustbin where all the problems are to be thrown on. Same thing happens in any organization, what they will do. I cannot do this, that they'll throw it on the head. See, they should be, I need an employee who comes with a solution, even if you have a problem. So that is how the employees should be. You come with a solution, I will come with 10 solutions. You don't come with the only problem. So you will only know the correct solution for that. Suppose he is your student, you will know where to call, whom to call, you know their parents. You know where they reside, you know their background, everything. So you should only come with a suggestion of solution at least. So this is what even we are doing in a social service also when you are going and tapping different events, activities. So there may be a lot of non-cooperations happening and a lot of floppy things happens. So if they just come and tell, no sir, at the end of the day, everything, the time would have gone and they will come and tell, no, I'm unable to do. So this has to be addressed. Persuading and motivating, creating an enthusiasm to make things happen. Definitely motivation is very, very essential. Whenever they do something good, also motivation is required. Even if they are unable to do, you have to encourage them saying that yes, you are capable of doing, definitely you will be able to do. Sir was telling about me in my biodata. Actually, I'm a professional counselor for all depression related issues. I'm doing it for past 15 years. So here, the main success of me counseling any age group, right from a child to old age, till the people who are in old age home, diverse cases in high court, everywhere I counsel. And the success is mainly identifying their strengths. Whoever, if it is my student, it is easy for me to identify because I can monitor, I can ask his teacher, I can talk to the parent and identify what is he best in, what is he good in. So anybody, any human being, if they are being scolded always, they will start rejecting everything. They will start hating life also, hating everybody. But for those people, if we are able to identify one good thing in them and appreciate, that will be the first time they will be happy. Because the first time somebody is appreciating something good in them, whereas so far, starting from their parents to everywhere, everybody, they were rejecting and they were cursing the student like anything. So this is what happens with our team members also. Some people may be always failing in something, but we need to identify what is good in them. So once if I start counseling the students, starting with, I know that you are a very good person who can sketch diagrams, you are very good in singing, you are very good in writing poems, something like that. He will sit erect. He will be more confident. Yes, ma'am is appreciating me. So then I will tell, see, you are very good in such a thing. Why don't you study also? It is not very difficult for you. So this way of counseling from his strength to weakness, what will happen next time when he comes in front of me, he has tasted that appreciation. He doesn't want to hear anything negative from me. So you are the only person in the world who is going to appreciate me. So next time when I come to you, I want more and more from you. So what he will do, next time when I go, she should not tell me that I'm bad in academics. I should also try to do something and go and stand in front of her. So this is what happens with even the team members. When they're not capable of doing something, identify their strengths and start appreciating them, motivating them. When you start appreciating, the taste, they will get addicted to that taste of appreciation. So again, they would like to stand in front of you with some success. Definitely there will be improvement in their action. So motivating teams,